Disney wants to hide political donations, spending on sex changes from shareholders. Docs reveal. This is another Daily Caller story. So now the board doesn't want people to know what the money is being spent. Let's read this, see what this is about. The board aims to conceal significant financial data, including expenditures on transgender initiatives and political donations as revealed in documents pertaining to the 2024 proxy vote ballot for the annual shareholder meeting scheduled for April 2nd. The board reluctance to disclose spending on gender transition compensation and benefits is met with opposition from National Legal and Policy Center, NLPC, and National Center for Public Policy Research, NCPPR, urging transparency regarding these matters. Shareholders have demanded a report on Disney's funding of gender care by December 31st of 2024, citing concerns about potential risks and gaps in benefits related to gender dysphoria. Similarly, the board opposes disclosing the company's charitable and political donations, rejecting proposals to publish recipients of contributions. Tom, why do you think that is?
Okay, so here's what's going on. Who reported this? Where did this come out of?
What's this?
Rob, where did you find this story?
Daily Caller.
Daily Caller.
Oh, the Daily Caller. Isn't that interesting? This is good reporting, and this is also shareholders. Guess what? Not all the shareholders are having the same opinion as the people that are making opinions on the content movies. Some people want Disney to kind of right the ship a little bit, A, from a financial standpoint, and B, from a content standpoint. And maybe if they move the content a little bit, the finances will move. And so what you have is a bunch of shareholders that are saying, hey, you're making crazy decisions, and you're not as profitable as you should be, and we think you're doing some crazy stuff. And by the way, we'd like to see just how crazy. What are you spending on this? What are you spending on that? Excuse me. And now the Disney board is like, yeah, we don't want to talk about that. That's what they're saying. Yeah, we don't want to talk about our donations. We want to talk about this. And you got people out there all over it. And Pat, there are people on the Disney board, even though they're very aligned, that do not want to this get out because they are attempting to right the ship at Disney. They're trying to find a successor for Bob Iger. They're trying to restore confidence. And Lord God, they go to church every week and they pray for hits that may the next movie be a hit, which they haven't been able to do. And so what you now have is the shareholders saying, hey, you know what? We want to know. And Disney's board saying, we don't want to talk about that because it just shows you how inside Disney, how warped things have become. It's as simple as that.
Vinny.
To be honest with you, I think and Disney, there needs to be a wake-up call at Disney. Tom, here's my question to you guys, because on the business side, in these meetings where you just see numbers on the board, Tom, you're the biz doc, at what point do you go, guys, enough is enough? When do you say, guys, this whole idea that we shifted, it's like the border. It's not. Nothing's being fixed. We're going downhill. How do you fix it?
Well, there's two things. There's the denial side and there's the rational side. The denial side is, look, the next movie will be fine. They're in denial.
Yeah.
We can get the analysts want to see more profitability. We need more profitability. Bob, you got to help us out here. We're hoping the next movie is going to do it. And how many movies in a row has that not happened?
It's all of them.
That's called denial is the most powerful drug in America. Denial, not fentanyl, is the most powerful drug in America. Then you have the rationalists that are in the very, very tiny minority, where you have analysts and a couple board members that have been asking to be heard. You know, they've been fighting with each other in groups and using proxies. Well, they're saying, you know what? I think it's deeper than that. I think it's more than just hoping for that next movie. I think we should proactively talk about leadership. I think we should proactively talk about movie decisions. And that is upstream, but we know it's going to take 5 years to get downstream to make these movies. And so that's what's going on here.
What's their stock looking like? What's Disney's stock? Has it
Not
dropped?
good.
That's what I'm saying, Adam. Has it dropped in the past, 2 years, 3 years?
What do you mean as it drops in the past 2-3 years? It's plummeted.
Oh, look at that.
So it was at an all-time high during COVID, and then it's just gone down ever since.
So Adam,
see, there's the 5-year run since COVID. And remember, 21, 22, we could go back to the theaters, right? So ignore 20 and 21.
Okay.
To be fair to Disney, there were lockdowns. You couldn't go to theme parks, except in Florida. And then it came back up. But now they've been introducing movies, 22, 23, and into 24.
The wokeness.
Not happening, is it?
Yeah.
The famous go woke, go broke. You know, I have a close relationship with Disney because this is the first stock I've ever owned. My grandmother bought me Disney stock when I was like a teenager. I was like, oh my God, what's a stock? She bought me 10 shares of Disney. And I've just been tracking that ever since. It's the first stock I've ever had until I started making real money in my 20s. So I've always sort of rooted for Disney peripherally, but what we've seen since basically COVID is that they've just embraced completely the DEI, ESG, trans woke agenda, and their stock portfolio shows. You know, you talked about price to earnings ratio earlier like that. It's a freaking disaster. So they fired, who was his, Bob Chapek?
Chapek
was the guy, and then they brought back Iger. We all read as a company, Ride of a Lifetime. We saw what he did to acquire Pixar and Marvel and everything that he's worked out. You know, he's in between a rock and a hard place.
To me, so if numbers were to come out, I mean, we already know how Silicon Valley companies vote and donate, right? Rob, if you can pull up Silicon Valley political donation companies, you'll see where they vote and how they vote with their money and how far it is. If you go to images, you should be able to see it. Go to images. It shows exactly how no, there's one that shows exactly what percentage of the money went to. Is that by company? Let me see that one right there. That's one of them.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, zoom in a little bit more, Rob. Oh, it just shows the dollar amount. It doesn't show. Anyways, Alphabet was at 98%. You know, Twitter was 99%. Facebook was 98% of the leaders and employees giving money to which political party. It was all the left. These virtual governments that's taking place. But Disney, I don't know why Disney would be surprised. Would anybody surprised if you find out 90% of the employees at Disney give the money to the left?
No, of course
no one's going to be surprised by that they're doing it.
By the way, who owns Marvel? Doesn't
zoom in,
Disney?
Rob?
I think so.
Doesn't Disney own Marvel?
I think so.
So there was a movie that came out this week called Madam Web.
Yeah.
Did anybody
there it
hear
is,
about
right
it?
there. Employee donations to midterm candidates by party. Look at Netflix, 99.6%. I was even wrong. I said 98%. Twitter's at 98.7%. Airbnb 97.8%. Apple 97%. Stripe 97%. Lyft 96%. Google 96%. Salesforce 95%. Facebook 95%. Tesla 94%. 95%. eBay 94%. 95%. PayPal 92%. Microsoft 92%. Amazon 89%. Uber 81%. Hewlett Packard 80%. Intel 78%. Oracle 66%. You know who runs Oracle?
Larry Ellison, number 4.
Rob, just Google real quick, Madam Web. I just want to confirm this before I throw Disney under the bus here. Madam Web was a movie that just came out here. It stars, what's her face?
Dakota
Johnson, the daughter of Don Johnson. Marvel Comics. Marvel owns Disney, yeah? Rotten Tomatoes gave him a 13%.
Ugh.
IMDb gave him 3.8%. So at what point do you continue to make these movies lose money and then just shove it down people's throats? There it is, 13% Rotten Tomatoes.
That means their agenda is that, like, Adam, if the great question, because I'm like, is their agenda that, like, important that they're like, listen, you guys are all going to lose money,
by the way,
but we're putting the message
what makes me think about is if Rotten Tomato gave it 13%,
but the audience,
and audience gave it 56%, you know what it tells you? There probably wasn't enough LGBTQ stuff in there for Rotten Tomato not be happy with it.
Yeah, probably.
It was actually the other way around.
Exactly.
The higher Rotten Tomato gives, the worse the movie is. The less they give, the better it is, because Rotten Tomato is coming from the rotten people in the tomato called Hollywood, right? That's kind of where they're coming from.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.